The morning sun cast its golden rays over New Shanghai's towering skyscrapers. Dr. Sarah Chen stood at her observatory window, sipping her morning coffee. The year was 2157, and Earth had enjoyed 50 years of unprecedented peace and unity. The United Earth Council had successfully brought all nations together, ending centuries of conflict. But today was different. Sarah's instruments detected something unusual in high orbit. "Computer, enhance Sector 7, she commanded. The holographic display zoomed in, revealing what made her coffee cup slip from her fingers and shatter on the floor. Massive ships, each larger than Manhattan, appeared through strange portals. Their designs were clearly alien, all sharp angles and gleaming metal that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Within minutes, emergency alerts blared across every communication channel on Earth. "This is an automated message to all Earth inhabitants," a mechanical voice boomed through global communication systems. "We are the Galactic Empire, rulers of 17,000 star systems. Your planet has been selected for integration into our glorious empire. Resistance is unnecessary. Integration will proceed regardless of your response." In Geneva, the United Earth Council gathered for an emergency session. Representatives from all former nations sat in the circular chamber, faces grim as they watched the alien ships position themselves around Earth's orbit. Admiral James Rodriguez, Earth Defense Force Commander, stepped up to the podium. "Ladies and gentlemen, we've prepared for this day. Project Guardian is ready. But first, we should attempt diplomatic contact." Council President Amara Okafor nodded. "Agreed. Let's show them humanity's civility." Earth's response was polite but firm. "Greetings, Galactic Empire. We appreciate your offer but must decline. Earth and its people choose to remain independent. We welcome peaceful trade and cultural exchange, but we cannot accept forced integration." The Empire's reply came swiftly and was broadcasted globally. "Your acceptance is not required. Integration begins in 24 Earth hours. Prepare your leaders for replacement and your systems for imperial standardization." In military bases worldwide, soldiers watched their commanders closely. In the Himalayan Command Center, General Lai Wei accessed the classified Project Guardian files. Under the Pacific Ocean, massive underground facilities hummed to life, and in secret bases on Mars and Luna, hidden weapons platforms powered up. "They have no idea what they're walking into," General Lai whispered to his staff. 50 years of reverse engineering from previous alien crash sites. 30 years of quantum shield development. 20 years of dark matter weapon research. We're not the primitive species they think we are. As the 24-hour deadline approached, families huddled together watching the news. But there was no panic in the streets, no riots, no chaos. Humanity had evolved beyond that. Instead, there was a quiet determination, a united resolve. In orbit, the Imperial ships detected no unusual military activity. Their scans showed primitive satellite systems and basic space stations. The Empire's commander, High Captain Zixtel, smiled at what he saw as easy prey. His tentacles twitched with anticipation as he prepared to launch the first wave of integration pods. "Such a primitive species," he muttered to his bridge crew. "They still use combustion engines in their ground vehicles. This integration will be simple." But deep beneath the oceans, in mountain bunkers, and in hidden orbital platforms, humanity's real technology waited. The last 50 years of peace hadn't been spent idly. Earth had prepared, united, and advanced far beyond what any alien civilization suspected. As the Empire's 24-hour deadline ticked down, Admiral Rodriguez stood in the Global Command Center, surrounded by holographic displays showing Earth's true defensive capabilities. He allowed himself a small smile. "Send the final message to the Empire," he ordered. His communications officer nodded. The message was brief. "This is Earth's final warning. Leave our orbit, or face the consequences of your actions. We are not as helpless as you think." The Empire's laughter could be heard in their response. They wouldn't be laughing for long. High Captain Zixtel's laughter echoed through his command bridge. "Send in the test force," he ordered. "Let's show these primitives what real power looks like." 5 Imperial warships, each carrying 2,000 troops, detached from the main fleet. They descended towards Earth's atmosphere, their weapons charging. According to Imperial protocols, this small force would be enough to capture a primitive planet's major cities. They were wrong. As the ships entered the upper atmosphere, Earth's first surprise revealed itself. Hidden quantum sensors, disguised as weather satellites, scanned the Imperial ships' every detail. In the Himalayan command center, General Lai Wei watched the data flow across his screens. "They're using standard plasma shields," he noted. "Exactly what we prepared for." He pressed a button on his command console. "Admiral Rodriguez, they're all yours." The Imperial ships never saw the first strike coming. From what appeared to be ordinary communication satellites, concentrated beams of dark matter energy shot forth. The beams passed through the Imperial shields like they weren't even there. "Impossible," screamed Captain Krell of the lead Imperial ship. "Their weapons, they're passing through our shields." His ship's right wing dissolved into nothing, dark matter eating through the advanced alien metal like acid through paper. But Earth wasn't done. From underwater bases in the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Oceans, massive rail guns emerged. They fired projectiles at speeds approaching light velocity, their ammunition enhanced with quantum-entangled particles that ignored normal physics. 3 Imperial ships exploded simultaneously, their debris falling harmlessly into the oceans where automated collection units waited to gather the alien technology. The remaining 2 ships tried to retreat, but found themselves trapped in Earth's gravity well. Hidden gravitational manipulators, reverse-engineered from crashed alien ships decades ago, held them in place. "This is impossible," muttered High Captain Zixtel, watching from orbit. "Their technology. It's beyond anything we expected. How did they hide this?" In New Delhi, President Okafor addressed the United Earth Council. "The Empire needed this demonstration. We've hidden our true capabilities for decades, knowing this day would come. Now they know. Earth is not defenseless." The 2 trapped Imperial ships received a transmission from Earth's Defense Command. Admiral Rodriguez's voice was calm but firm. "Your ships are disabled. Your troops will be treated humanely if they surrender. Resist, and we will be forced to demonstrate more of our capabilities." Inside the trapped ships, panic spread among the Imperial troops. They had expected to face primitive projectile weapons and basic energy shields. Instead, they faced technology that seemed to break the laws of physics themselves. Captain Krell made his decision. "We surrender," he transmitted, "but you don't understand what you've done. The Empire will not tolerate this humiliation." Earth's response teams moved swiftly. Special forces, wearing powered armor that could match any Imperial technology, boarded the captured ships. The alien troops, despite their advanced weapons, found themselves quickly subdued by humans who moved faster, hit harder, and seemed to know exactly how to counter every Imperial tactic. In orbit, High Captain Zixtel's tentacles twisted in fury. "Prepare the main fleet," he ordered. "No more tests. No more games. We'll crush them with everything we have." But on Earth, humanity smiled. In secret bunkers, more weapons powered up. In hidden orbital platforms, advanced defense systems activated. And in laboratories across the planet, scientists and engineers continued working on technologies that would make what they'd just revealed look primitive. General Lai Wei watched the Imperial fleet's movements on his quantum radar. "They're preparing for a full assault," he reported to the Global Command. "Exactly as we predicted." "Let them come," Admiral Rodriguez replied. "Humanity has more surprises waiting. Many more." In the captured Imperial ships, human scientists were already downloading the alien databases, adding to Earth's knowledge. The real battle was about to begin, and humanity was more than ready. The Imperial Senate chamber buzzed with angry voices. On the massive central screen, footage from the failed Earth invasion played on loop. High Captain Zixtel stood before the Senate, his tentacles drooping in shame. "How?" demanded Supreme Chancellor Vox. "How did a primitive world defeat our elite forces? A human prisoner, captured years before from a deep space expedition, was brought forward." Dr. Marcus Zhang smiled at the assembled aliens. "You never understood humanity's greatest strength," he said. "We learn. We adapt. We prepare." The room fell silent as Dr. Zhang began to explain. 50 years earlier, in 2107, humanity had discovered the wreckage of an alien scout ship in the Antarctic ice. Instead of announcing it to the world, Earth's nations had made a secret pact. They would unite, prepare, and wait. In underground facilities beneath the Sahara Desert, scientists reverse-engineered alien technology. In hidden bases under the Pacific Ocean, engineers developed quantum weapons. On the dark side of the moon, humanity built silent factories and research stations. Every alien crash, every piece of space debris, every signal we intercepted, Dr. Zhang continued, we studied them all. We knew someone would come eventually, so we made ourselves look primitive while advancing beyond your imagination. Back on Earth, Admiral Rodriguez led a tour through one of these secret facilities. Representatives from the United Earth Council watched in awe as huge hangar doors opened, revealing rows of advanced spacecraft. These ships, Rodriguez explained, combine alien tech with human innovation. Our quantum drives are 30% more efficient than imperial standards. Our AI systems are fully sentient, but loyal by choice, not programming. In another section, scientists demonstrated Earth's most closely guarded secret, the Nexus Network. Quantum computers, linked across continents and space, process data faster than any system in the known galaxy. We didn't just copy alien technology, Dr. Sarah Chen explained to the council members. We improved it. The Empire's ships still use basic quantum mechanics. We've moved beyond that, into dark matter manipulation and dimensional physics. High in orbit, Imperial sensors detected new energy signatures as Earth's hidden defense grid fully activated. Thousands of satellites shed their primitive disguises, revealing advanced weapon platforms and shield generators. On Mars, massive doors opened in the red soil. Artillery platforms rose from underground bunkers, their weapons aimed at the Imperial fleet. The entire solar system had been fortified, turning every planet and moon into a potential fortress. Impossible, whispered High Captain Zixtel, watching the new sensor data. They've built defenses throughout their entire system. How did we miss this? The answer came from his science officer. They'd been using dimensional cloaking technology. Everything was hidden in pocket dimensions until now. It's beyond our technology level. In Geneva, President Okafor addressed the world. For 50 years, we kept our advancements secret. We showed the galaxy a peaceful, somewhat primitive world. But now, facing Imperial aggression, we reveal our true strength. The truth shocked the Empire. Human ships didn't just match Imperial technology. They surpassed it. Earth's weapons could penetrate Imperial shields. Human stealth systems made their ships virtually invisible. Their quantum computers could hack Imperial systems in seconds. In the Imperial Senate, Dr. Zhang's final words echoed through the chamber. You thought Earth was an easy target. Instead, you found a civilization that has spent half a century preparing specifically for this moment. We studied your weaknesses. We improved your technology. And now, we're ready to show you exactly what humanity can do. As he spoke, across the solar system, more of Earth's hidden power revealed itself. Defense platforms around Jupiter activated. Stealth fleets emerged from Saturn's rings. And on Earth, millions of humans stood ready, their determination unshaken. The Empire had wanted to test Earth. Now, Earth would test the Empire. High Captain Zixtel's command ship shook with rage as he slammed his tentacles against the control panel. Launch everything, he roared. Every ship, every weapon, every soldier. Crush this insolent world. The Imperial Armada moved like a metal storm. 10,000 warships, carrying millions of troops, advanced toward Earth. Their weapons charge, creating an energy signature visible across the solar system. But Earth was ready. Admiral Rodriguez stood in the Global Command Center, watching the approaching fleet. "They're doing exactly what we expected," he said calmly. "Activate Operation Thunderstorm." Suddenly, the space between Earth and the Imperial fleet lit up. Hidden quantum mines, planted throughout the solar system decades ago, activated simultaneously. Hundreds of Imperial ships vanished in balls of dark energy. "First wave successful," reported General Lai Wei from the lunar base. "Moving to Phase 2. Earth's real fleet revealed itself. Ships emerged from dimensional pockets around Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. They weren't the primitive vessels the Empire expected. These were sleek, advanced crafts, incorporating 50 years of reversed-engineered technology and human innovation." The space battle that followed would be remembered for centuries. Imperial ships fired their plasma cannons, but Earth vessels simply shifted between dimensions, making the attacks pass harmlessly through empty space. Human quantum torpedoes ignored Imperial shields, striking directly at their ships' cores. "How are they predicting our movements?" screamed Captain Krell of the Imperial flagship. The answer was simple. Earth's Nexus network had been analyzing Imperial battle tactics for decades. In the midst of the chaos, something unexpected happened. Several Imperial ships suddenly turned their weapons against their own fleet. "This is Admiral Vex of the reformed Imperial forces," a new voice broadcasted. "We've watched the Empire's corruption spread too long. We stand with Earth." The battle shifted. Nearly a third of the Imperial fleet, inspired by Earth's resistance, turned against their former masters. The space around Earth became a storm of energy weapons, quantum torpedoes, and dimensional shifts. On Earth, President Okafor received the news with a smile. "We knew there were those in the Empire who opposed their leadership," she told the United Earth Council. "Our intelligence networks have been in contact with them for years." The battle raged across the solar system. Near Jupiter, Earth's hidden fleet used the gas giant's gravity to slingshot quantum missiles at Imperial formations. Around Mars, stealth fighters emerged from the red planet's dust storms, striking from impossible angles. High Captain Zixtal watched in horror as his mighty fleet was torn apart. Earth's weapons were beyond anything he'd imagined. Their ships moved in ways that defied physics. Their tactics showed intimate knowledge of Imperial weaknesses. "Fall back," he finally ordered. "All ships, retreat-to." His words cut off as his flagship's systems suddenly shut down. "Your command codes have been revoked," a calm human voice informed him through his ship's speakers. Earth's quantum AI had penetrated their systems completely. As the battle wound down, the remaining Imperial ships faced a choice: surrender or retreat. Many chose surrender, seeing the futility of fighting against Earth's superior technology and tactics. Admiral Rodriguez surveyed the aftermath from his command center. Debris from hundreds of Imperial ships floated in space, already being collected by Earth's automated salvage units for study and recycling. "Send the message," he ordered. Across all frequencies, Earth broadcast its declaration. "This was just our first line of defense. Retreat beyond the solar system, or face our full capabilities." The surviving Imperial ships fled, carrying with them stories of Earth's power. But everyone knew this wasn't the end. The Empire's pride had been wounded, and they would return. As the last Imperial ships disappeared into hyperspace, Earth's forces began preparing for the next battle. They had revealed some of their capabilities, but many secrets remained hidden. The real war was just beginning. 3 days after the Great Battle of Earth, Admiral Rodriguez stood before the United Earth Council with a bold plan. "We can't wait for them to return," he declared. "It's time to take the fight to them." President Okafor nodded. "Operation Shadow Strike is approved. Show them what humanity can really do." Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Earth's stealth fleet powered up. 100 ships, completely invisible to Imperial sensors, prepared for their first major offensive. These weren't ordinary warships. They were Earth's Ghost Fleet, capable of passing through solid matter using quantum phasing technology. Captain Sarah Chen, now commanding the stealth carrier Silent Thunder, addressed her crew. Our mission is simple. We hit 3 major Imperial bases simultaneously. They won't see us coming. The Ghost Fleet split into 3 groups. The first headed toward the Imperial fortress world of Centauri Prime. The second targeted the Empire's largest shipyard at Proxima Beta. The third, led by Captain Chen, aimed for the Empire's central command station near Sirius. At Centauri Prime, Imperial commanders were celebrating their planned counterattack on Earth when the first strike hit. Human ships phased right through their orbital defenses, appearing inside their supposedly impenetrable shields. "How did they get past our sensors?" screamed the base commander. The answer came in the form of quantum torpedoes materializing inside their main reactor chambers. At Proxima Beta's shipyards, the scene was similar. Earth's ships emerged from quantum space directly inside maintenance bays. Special forces in advanced stealth suits planted dimensional charges on dozens of Imperial ships under construction. "Sir," reported an Imperial technician, "they're soldiers. They're walking through walls." The Empire's response was chaos. Their ships fired blindly, unable to lock onto the phantom vessels that appeared and disappeared at will. Earth's forces struck with surgical precision, disabling key systems and avoiding civilian areas. On the Sirius command station, High Command watched in horror as reports flooded in. Earth wasn't just defending. They were attacking with technology the Empire had never seen before. Captain Chen's group delivered the final blow. Her ships surrounded the command station, using their quantum fields to disable its communications. Then they broadcast a message across all Imperial frequencies. "This is Earth," her voice rang out. "We could destroy this station. Instead, we offer a warning. Leave our solar system alone, or next time, we won't be so merciful." To prove their point, Earth's ships began a synchronized attack. Not to destroy, but to demonstrate. They phased through the station's walls, disabled weapons with precise quantum strikes, and showed complete mastery over dimensional space. Back on Earth, Admiral Rodriguez watched the operations through quantum-entangled communications. "Phase 2, he ordered. Suddenly, across the Empire, hidden human agents activated their signals. Earth had planted spies throughout Imperial space, gathering intelligence and preparing for this moment. Critical Imperial systems began failing. Security protocols collapsed. Secret files were transmitted to Earth. The Empire's carefully guarded technological secrets became open books to human intelligence. "This is impossible," muttered an Imperial senator, watching his secure databases empty themselves. "They've been inside our systems all along." The counterstrike lasted just 6 hours. When it was done, 3 major Imperial bases were crippled, dozens of warships were disabled, and the Empire's military secrets were compromised. Captain Chen's final message echoed through Imperial space. "We could have destroyed everything. Remember that. Earth is not your prey. We are your warning." The Ghost Fleet vanished as quickly as it had appeared, leaving behind a shaken empire. They had thought Earth was just defending its territory. Now they realized humans could strike anywhere, at any time, without being detected. In Geneva, President Okafor addressed the Council. "Phase 1 is complete. Now we wait for their response." The Empire had a choice to make, and Earth was ready for either option. The Imperial Senate had never been so chaotic. Senators from 17,000 worlds shouted and argued as reports of Earth's counterstrike spread through the galaxy. The Empire was facing something it had never experienced before: fear. "3 of our strongest bases, crippled in hours," shouted Senator Kraz of the Orient sector. "Our most advanced ships, disabled like children's toys. How can we fight an enemy we can't even see?" Supreme Chancellor Vox struggled to maintain order. But worse news was coming. On the industrial world of Nexus IV, alien workers dropped their tools, and raised makeshift weapons. Earth has shown us the way, their leader declared. If they can resist, so can we. Similar uprisings erupted across Imperial space. Races that had been conquered centuries ago saw Earth's success and found their courage. The Empire's iron grip was beginning to crack. In the Andromeda sector, Admiral Vex's reformed Imperial forces grew stronger by the hour. Imperial ships defected, joining the rebellion that Earth had inspired. Their crews had seen Earth's mercy during the counterstrike, how humans disabled rather than destroyed, warned rather than annihilated. The Empire told us humans were primitives, Admiral Vex broadcast. Instead, they showed us a better way. They proved that tyranny can be defeated. On Earth, the United Earth Council received constant updates through their quantum spy network. President Okafor smiled as she read the reports. Everything is proceeding as planned, she told Admiral Rodriguez. Our demonstration of power was careful and precise. We showed strength without cruelty, advanced technology without arrogance. The Empire's military response was paralyzed. Their best tacticians couldn't form plans against an enemy that could appear anywhere, phase through solid matter, and hack their most secure systems. High Captain Zixtal, once the Empire's proudest commander, faced a military tribunal. How could you not know? They demanded. How did you miss their true capabilities? They fooled us all, he replied bitterly. While we watched their primitive satellites and basic space stations, they were building a force that could defeat our entire fleet. The crisis deepened. On the Empire's capital world, protesters filled the streets. Citizens demanded answers. How could their invincible empire be humbled by a single planet? In secret bunkers across Imperial space, Earth's agents continued their work. They didn't just gather intelligence. They spread ideas. Ideas about freedom, self-determination, and the right to resist oppression. The imperial economy began to collapse. Trade routes became unsafe as rebellious systems declared independence. The once mighty imperial fleet was scattered, trying to maintain control across too many fronts. The Empire faces its greatest crisis, Supreme Chancellor Vox admitted in an emergency broadcast. Not just military defeat, but the very real possibility of total collapse. Earth watched and waited. Their ghost fleets remained ready, their quantum weapons charged, but they didn't strike again. They didn't need to. In the Sirius command station, now partly rebuilt, Imperial officers watched helplessly as their authority crumbled. More systems declared independence each day. More ships joined the rebellion. Earth didn't just resist us, an Imperial analyst reported. They showed the galaxy that we're not invincible. They did what no one has done in 10,000 years. They made the Empire look weak. President Okafor received a message from Admiral Vex. The reformed Imperial forces now controlled nearly a third of Imperial space. Other rebel groups controlled more. The Empire was losing its grip on the galaxy. Should we help the rebels? Admiral Rodriguez asked. No, President Okafor replied. We've done our part. Let the galaxy find its own path to freedom. Our job was to show them it was possible. The empire that had ruled for 10,000 years was falling apart, and it had taken just one planet, Earth, to start its collapse. Phase 6 was complete. Now, only the final act remained. 1 month after the Imperial crisis began, Earth's quantum sensors detected a massive fleet approaching the solar system. But this wasn't an attack force. It was a diplomatic mission. Supreme Chancellor Vox himself led the Imperial delegation. His flagship, escorted by both Imperial loyalists and Reformed Forces ships, broadcast a message of peace as it approached Earth's orbit. President Okafor stood in the United Earth Council chamber, watching the approaching ships on the holographic display. They'd finally understood, she said quietly. The meeting was set in a neutral location, Earth's Luna base. As the Imperial delegation walked through the base's corridors, they saw firsthand the technology Earth had hidden for so long. Quantum computers, dimensional drives, and advanced AI systems operated openly now. In the main conference room, Supreme Chancellor Vox faced President Okafor across a simple table. His tentacles trembled slightly. The mighty empire was about to do something unprecedented. On behalf of the Galactic Empire, Vox began, his voice broadcast across Earth and imperial space. We formally recognize Earth's independence and sovereignty. Furthermore, we acknowledge Earth's right to ban imperial presence in its solar system. But President Okafor raised her hand. That's not enough, she said firmly. Earth has a greater declaration to make. Admiral Rodriguez stepped forward, activating a holographic display of the galaxy. Specific regions lit up in different colors, former imperial territories now controlled by liberated species. The age of empire is over, President Okafor announced. Earth proposes a new galactic council, where all species have equal representation. The empire will become one member among many, not a ruler over all. Supreme Chancellor Vox's color changed, a sign of shock in his species. You want us to surrender our authority? No, Admiral Rodriguez replied. We want you to evolve, to grow, to join a galaxy of equals. Earth's declaration continued. They would share some of their technology with all species, ensuring no single power could dominate others. The quantum network would be extended throughout the galaxy, connecting all worlds in free communication. But know this, President Okafor's voice grew stern. Earth's solar system remains off-limits to all military forces. We will defend our space, and we will intervene if any power attempts to rebuild an empire through force. To demonstrate their resolve, Earth activated their full defense grid. The Imperial delegation watched in awe as thousands of quantum platforms, dimensional shields, and advanced weapon systems revealed themselves throughout the solar system. This is what we held back, Admiral Rodriguez explained. What you saw in our battles was less than 10% of our true capabilities. The new Galactic Treaty was signed there, on Luna Base. The Empire would transition to a member state of the new Galactic Council. Earth would serve as guardian of peace, but not ruler, a protector, not a conqueror. As Supreme Chancellor Vox prepared to leave, he asked one final question. How did you do it? How did humans advance so far without anyone knowing? President Okafor smiled. Because we remembered our history. Every great civilization on Earth that grew too proud, too visible, was eventually challenged and fell. So we chose a different path. Hide our strength, prepare in secret, and strike only when necessary. The Imperial delegation departed, carrying with them copies of the new Galactic Treaty. Across the galaxy, former Imperial worlds celebrated their freedom. New trade routes opened, cultural exchanges began, and a new age of cooperation started. On Earth, Admiral Rodriguez stood at his old observatory, watching the ships depart. Do you think it will last? He asked President Okafor. It will, she replied confidently. Because now everyone knows, Earth is watching. Earth is ready. And Earth will never allow another empire to rise. The sign at the edge of the solar system was simple but clear. Earth's space. Entry by permission only. All military forces banned. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Earth wasn't just another world to be conquered. It was the force that broke an empire and freed a galaxy. The end.